Going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the February 13th, 2025 Helm developer meeting. This is a CNCF project and it follows the CNCF code of conduct. This call is being recorded. If you don't want to be recorded, please fall off and watch the recording later. My name is Robert. I will be your host, and let's get started. Let's see. For announcements, Helm 3.17.1 was just released. And yes, it was my first release. It was nerve-wracking to have Matt there pair programming with me, but we got it out the door with a few hiccups. Thank you. Thank you. It's not about me. It's about you guys. So other than that, we'll move on to discussions. Akaris, are you on? Check.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes, you are here. Oh, it's Andreas Cars. That is it. You are here to talk about pull request 9760. Let me copy the link and then put this in chat. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. So it's a very old pull request. And back in the days I didn't know that I had to join the call and stuff and whatever. And then I had abandoned it basically. But about a week ago, somebody on the pull request pinged me with interest about it, so I rebased it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of users at least who asked for and created an issue for like having Helm pull dash dash repo look up credentials when a repo is basically saved. And that's supposed to address it. I don't know though if this is technically a new feature or even if the location where I put the fix is correct and it's not just more of a hack. And if anything like the fix should be done elsewhere. So basically, I just want to know if there's there would be interest to get the fix in, and then perhaps some guidance if the location is correct, if that makes sense at all. Yeah.
Okay. It looks, I can't answer if it's the right location, but we can ask a couple of maintainers who are on. I can take a look at it this week. On Friday, I have some cycles during my Helm afternoon. And if George or Scott or Matt, Joe, if you guys want to take a look at this is an old one. Like I said, it's 9760.
Sure, yeah, I can take a look.
All right.
I just joined.
Right.
Look.
Karen and Farina are in there dueling with notes, and that is the only discussion. But I see Austin's on, so I doubt that that's the only discussion. Austin, you jumped on. You want to add your stuff that you wanted to put into the discussions, and we'll give you the floor.
Yeah, definitely. Let me do that now.
Okay. This is probably about the case status. Is that the correct one?
Yeah, there's actually two PRs.
Okay.
There's one PR kind of outside of a hip, and then there's the case status hip, and I'd like to speak to that as well.
All right. So let's get the small one out of the way first, and then we'll talk to the case status one because I pulled that down. It's a big one, buddy. It's huge.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I have a hip for it, and it's gotten to be a very large PR. I think, very happy with the feedback that I've gotten from the team. I think it's pretty close to done. I'm pretty happy with the testing that's happening in the repo and where the PR is.
Mm-hmm.
I know, George, you had one comment. I think that might be worth just talking about synchronously real quick about whether we want a wait flag or a wait strategy flag or both.
So my goal was to keep things simple, I guess. If that doesn't work, we need more flags. I would say one thing, we can convert the existing boolean. So if someone just does wait, that implies wait, or they can even do wait is equal to true. That just implies the default option, and you convert the boolean to a string, and it's possible to upgrade the flag to, and then alias true false to being like no weight and or whatever we call it in the default case status weight.
That's fair.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, the one thing
if
for me
we're
is like,
running, oh, sorry. Yeah.
oh no, you're good. The
I
one
was
thing
gonna
for
say
me,
if
oh, there might be a delay. Uh, sorry. Uh,
you go.
okay. Yeah, was if like, I guess if long term, if we keep just weight equals true, that probably makes sense. So like just having users put in weight. I didn't want to like add the complexity of the user having to know like the implementation detail of like I'm using the watcher or I'm using legacy, because it seems like for 99% of users, at least ideally, it's just they don't really care. They just want to use whatever the default weight is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'll go forward then, like kind of with that interpretation. And then I think after that, pretty much everything is ready to review. It's a very big PR. Like, do we have a process for reviewing PRs that big?
I
We're
don't
just gonna
believe
have
we.
to put the time in. No, it's just like
Yeah.
any other PR. It's just gonna
Okay.
require the time.
Mhm.
So
This is a
if
good
I,
one.
yeah, with any PR and especially the larger ones, and I'll talk for Matt, is to give us ways to test it, test the negative, test the positive, not just in your unit tests, but like, hey, this Helm chart will hit this way, this will hit that way, and it just gives us it takes a little bit of the cognitive load because that's a double Excel right there, so it's a lot of files that you're going through, and it just helps us when we're going through it. So anytime any PR you guys could help that just helps it along for us. So we're not guessing, like, hey, like, what is that salt on the outside, right?
Yeah, and I can put together a repo of just like Helm chart
Yeah.
weight examples that points there, and has some scripts that goes through and proves that.
Yeah,
Wait
I
for
have
that.
I got my personal sets of scripts that I run through every PR, and then I might steal some and put in my own personal beat up log for that. So yes, if you can do that, that makes it life a lot easier for us. But we do appreciate your work and your effort on this.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, no, it sounds like some of the other hips are starting to reference that too, where there's been some other PRs around improving weight. So they're very excited for it.
Awesome. All right, so if we move into hip review, Austin, you're up with the case status.
We did just do that, but if
Yeah, I just edited it to the agenda because it's effectively what we were discussing rather than the PR. So
got it. I'm reading from a list, so I'm making sure like you got there. So sorry, my note taker got
if
me.
you don't mind me bringing up one more discussion item though, real quick around the command/Helm refactor.
Yeah, that one.
Just if there's anything I can do to help get that one.
This is PR 13617,
Yep.
correct? All right. It's in the chat. The floor is yours, please.
Yeah, so I think I brought this one up before, but it changes technically 538 files. 99% of that is just moving from one location to another. It makes Helm essentially able to be embedded. So only export the root command, so someone can embed the root command into their project. That's what I would do with a project I maintain Zarf for air-gapped deployments. Yeah, I mean, if I get some eyes on it, tell me if I'm in the right direction, would be helpful.
Okay. Matt's gives a thumbs up because he can't talk today. So we'll get some time on it. All right. Okay, we hit the hip review. We went back up for your discussion item, Austin. Thank you again. George, server-side apply, community hip, pull request 312. Let me put this in the chat for everyone. George, the floor is yours, sir.
So this one has been sitting there for a while, and getting some eyes on it will be appreciated.
Okay.
One other thing which I keep on getting pinged about is supporting server-side apply. So there's two places where Helm could use server-side apply. One is when it's deploying the objects from the Helm chart into the cluster. The other one is when it's managing the release secret. Managing the release secret is largely independent of managing the objects. Managing the release secret would also have an immediate benefit that would like half the size of the release secret because it wouldn't, using server-side apply wouldn't require the last updated field thing that Kubernetes does when you use client-side apply. I was going to probably make a separate hip um uh for the release secret, unless people think we don't need that. But it's probably easier just to write a small hip. I don't know if anybody has any comments, but yeah, getting uh the the intent of this, the hip I have written, which is server-side apply for managing release objects. Overview, that'd be awesome.
So throw it back to the maintainers and anybody else who wants to take a look at that. Again, that's it's under the community repo pull request 312. All right. Any other hip reviews? Anything else I'm missing? Last minute.
I've got a quick question. I'm just like a community person, but super interested in, and George has been super nice. I've been bothering him about the hip thing or the server-side apply thing a bunch. I have like an extra feature request for the hip itself, like some of the server-side apply stuff, like managed fields, you need to be very careful about.
Mhm.
Is generally like, should I like make those comments first before you guys come and look, or like is it like can we do these things synchronously? Just sort of curious what like previous like successful hips have done that have worked out.
So the hip is for community discussion, would be
Okay.
the virtual version. It's not for yeah, it's not only for maintainer purposes. It's very much for like to discuss with everybody. Obviously the person driving the hip, say myself, is going to pick the scope. And I'd say this for a particular like just because we do this hip for server-side apply doesn't mean that server-side apply couldn't be extended in the future. But yeah, like yeah. I guess I'm going into the weeds, some of the details, what I think you might be proposing. Uh, but yeah, certainly comments on the hip were uh, like that's the place to discuss these things with everybody.
Yeah, so it's generally as we go. So if you have comments, concerns, you put them into the hip, and it just causes discussions, and then we go back and forth. And then a lot of hips have side meetings. I know George has had those on he's put up meetings before to kind of explain and take a deeper dive on it. So it's as we're going. So if you have comments, please feel free to, you can note it within the hip itself without a PR or anything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. No one has anything else for the hip review? We'll do shout outs. Anyone? Anything? Nothing listed?
Well done on
Social
the
media.
release.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, it was nerve wracking. We had a little hiccup, but we got through it this morning. My thing with social media amplification, we probably need to, I should put it in there. We probably need to do a tweet or something from the Helm social media channels, whatever ones we're still on. I don't know. I'm not a social media expert. And then if no one has anything else, let's grab the assignments for next call. I am not here, so I cannot be a moderator.
I should be here on time next week. Sorry, thank you, Robert. I can.
Notes, Karen, Matt, Joe never does notes.
It's because these are my office days, and I'm on my work laptop, and I don't use my own personal Google account on my work laptop.
It's okay. I'm just joking. I'm just teasing you. It's okay.
All right.
All right. Matt will do it. All right. Thank you, Matt. Not Matt or Matt. Issue triage. Evans, you good? He's there. All right. PRs. You can put me there. I do them quite frequently through me, George,
And me.
Joe, and I make Matt do it with me. So
Nice.
Today was a lively meeting. Thank you all for your help and assistance on that. And if no one has anything else, we can give some time back to everybody.
I've got a quick question before folks head
Sure.
out. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I was curious if we had discussed the like there's like an issue above 3, like allowing the post render to process hooks. I'll just like paste it in the doc. Is that something we had chatted about earlier or something?
What's the PR?
I can put it under the discussion thing, so it's
Yes, please.
you got it. Oh wow, Google. Sorry.
Just put it in there. Karen's gonna format it. Just hit paste.
This guy.
So you're talking about 13.15.4. I will put that in the Slack channel real quick. Jump back up to it. I don't know if we did not talk about it, but you have a question for it, please.
Yeah, it's like I think the author has like responded to all of the comments and stuff, and I hit this like all the time. So it's like super happy to like help out or in any way. But yeah, curious if you guys have like had a chance to look at this or have opinions on what maybe needs to change or things like that.
Just going to main. No, I commented on it, but I would have to go back and jump in and look at it again. We look at a lot of these, so
No
it's
problem.
something we can actually look at. Okay. So yeah, we'll put it in the list of stuff we can try to look at again. Again, I think this was a breaking change. If I remember correctly, but this is going into Helm 4, and I'm not sure if this one will need a hip or not. I doubt it, but let me ask.
Yeah, if I remember right, this is backwards compatible, this guy. So, but I might be wrong. So, yeah, thanks again. I'm happy to help out.
If you did want to offer an improvement to it, it could use tests.
Okay, happy to do so.
Yeah, there's one test, and you're touching more than one file, so that's probably good. Yeah, Joe's right. It's probably going to be probably one of the things you're going to get. It's going to get sent back for is just not covering to make sure we didn't break anything. So, but we can note that. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Of course, yeah. It's not my issue, but I'd love to see it. So, great.
Okay. Anyone have anything else? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.